We're pleased that the Kansas Supreme Court affirmed today that access to public education in Kansas should not be determined by a child's zip code. As the court noted, we must honor the will of the people as expressed in Article 6 of the Kansas Constitution and keep our promise to Kansas children. The court's ruling today affirms that SB 7, the block grant formula, does not meet the Kansas constitutional standard of equitable access to educational opportunities. The challenge to the Kansas legislature is now to craft a suitable solution, though the court left the legislature wide discretion on what that solution should be. We trust that Kansas children will be the focus of their deliberations. Kansas has long had a public education system that our citizens could be proud of. In order for our state's economy to grow, Kansas must be a place where young families want to raise their children and business leaders can secure a highly qualified workforce. It's essential that the question of equity in funding be addressed so that children in our classrooms today don't lose the opportunity to secure their future through quality public education. Even more, the court indicated that a solution to the equity consideration must not be made at the expense of adequate funding. In other words, simply redistributing existing funds will not suffice. The court's expected to take up the adequacy element of the Gannon case later this year. There'll be much discussion about the what-ifs in the court's opinion, including impact on budget and the prospect that school districts may shut their doors July 1 if an appropriate solution is not developed. We'll continue to plan for the 2016-17 school year, while at the same time assessing the impact on children, adults, and businesses in our community should personnel and vendors go unpaid and children denied the opportunity to learn. We believe that legislative leaders desire a solution as much as educators do, and we eagerly anticipate the legislative remedy. Today's ruling on equity is good news for Kansas communities, the elected Board of Education members who serve them, and the adults who teach and support students, and the children who look to public education to help them create a bright future, including the 51,000 students in the Wichita Public Schools. Well, I think the court order putting the specific date of June 30th, and at that point in time, they are very explicit in saying if there isn't a constitutional remedy in front of the court by that point in time, that beginning July 1, schools would not be able to raise, distribute, or spend any dollars because the funding formula in its entirety would be declared unconstitutional. So they have not relinquished control of the case as well, and when they put that kind of defined line, it would appear that they fully intend that this will be met, or schools will not be open after July 1, according to their opinion at this stage.